Okay. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the first webinar series that DBA is putting on. This is going to be a weekly series. Next week, we're going to have Julie Laparos with. She's going to give us some tips on keeping up with some business connections, as well as tips on telecommuting and using programs like Zoom to kind of help get us through this time. But today we have Pete Rizzo, the Executive Director of PartnersOne, and Aimee Supp, the VP Sales and Marketing for Moxie. And they're going to talk to us about doing something that I think a lot of people are interested in right now, cashless environment. If your cash flow is a little low right now, business barter might be a good way to turn. So I'm just going to hand it right over to them.
Good morning. Forgive me, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I wrote notes and I need glasses to see them. So I'll be pulling them on and off because I'm uncomfortable talking with them on. I wanted to start this morning, while we're going to talk about barter a whole bunch, I wanted to start just kind of at 50,000 feet and look at the world where we're at today. And the question that I was asked yesterday that I wanted to reflect on is, as we get ready to reopen our businesses or reintroduce ourselves to the Baton Rouge audience or whatever audience you're with, is to see where barter fits in. We have to roll back and see where we're at. The question I was asking yesterday was, if you could look back 6 weeks into your past, would you have said you were living the dream or you were chasing the dream? And if you were living the dream, then your goal right now should be to put everything back in order and back in place right where you were before all this started. But if you were somebody like most of us who were chasing the dream and trying to find just the right recipe of how you could do more and be better and have a better quality of life and a better income and help more employees, then you can't do the same things that you were doing and expect the same results. A lot of the conversations, if you're like me, you're having right now is you answer the phone and say, "How are you doing?" And somebody says, "I can't wait for things to get back to normal." That's just such a common phrase. People want normal, normal, normal. And I've set out in my newly found free time to redefine normal, to say what really is normal, because the more I study it, is I don't want to go back to normal. And I've just thought about telling people when they ask me what I'm doing, I say things like, "I'm never going back," or "I'm trying to make it better than ever." So I'm looking for ways, both as an individual and as a company, to say, this is a reset moment for us. We don't have to aspire to what we were, but we've got to freeze in time to where we can determine what we want to be. But in order to create a bold new business for a new future, we have to stop and examine our tool bag and say, what are the things we were doing that were working that we can keep doing? What are the things that we were doing that really weren't giving us any dividends that we need to discard and let go and leave behind us? And what are the new tools we can add to make us robustly successful in the future? I think this morning, when we talk about barter, Lauren asked us during the week for a title for today. And I'm going to go ahead and show my age here, but the suggestion I made for a topic for the talk was, don't call it a comeback. Barter in 2020. And Aimee said, "What does that mean?" I'm like, well, that's a pop culture reference from the 90s. Apparently it went too far back, but barter's been around for forever and ever. So we're not doing something new, and barter isn't a solution to the COVID crisis. Barter is something that's been in Baton Rouge for 20 years with PartnersOne, and it's in most major metropolitan areas. Organized barter solves some of your business problems, and we just want to talk to you about when your business reopens or when you start inviting new customers back in. The exciting thing that's happened in our marketplace is there's been an overwhelming cry for small business, for local small business. It's been so great. People are on social media. Restaurants who were adversaries 6 months ago are now in the same promotion, saying shop local, eat local, dine local. And what, I don't know about you, but I sure hope that 6 months from now, those people are still saying shop local, dine local, we're better together. I hope we don't forget the way we feel about each other today 6 months from now, because I think that's beneficial to us all. PartnersOne is a network of people that has lived by that mantra for 20 years. What we've done is we've created a closed environment of local businesses that do just that. We promote each other's businesses. We patronize each other's businesses. We choose each other over competitive entities because we're a member of a closed network. What PartnersOne has been able to become is a screening process, as it were, where when you go and look at businesses who are a member of our association, you don't have to wonder, am I picking the right person? Before there was Angie's List, there was PartnersOne. It was a directory you could go to know that there were skilled, qualified, dependable people who had been screened both through an application and an experiential process that let you know you were doing work with people that you can trust. And when that didn't occur, that there was a accountability that was available both through the network and through the person who recommended that person to the network, so that you could be certain that at the end of the job that you got what you were looking for. PartnersOne gives you a chance to have a captive audience. One of the greatest fears I think business owners should have is, I started 20 years ago in the restaurant industry before I was with PartnersOne. And the LRA used to tell us that it took 3 visits to create a regular. But if any of your customers were gone for 6 weeks, that you had lost them forever. And you hear that about joining a gym or changing your diet, that anything you do, they say it takes your brain 6 weeks to develop a new habit. Well, on the converse side is it takes 6 weeks for people to leave their current habits. So if you think that your regular customers are coming back, they may not be, because they've been introduced to a myriad of new choices via social media while they've been at home looking at their laptops 16 hours a day. That's the bad news. The good news is those people who weren't your customers are now going to be out looking at new options. So you're back in the game. All of a sudden, people that you couldn't attract 6 weeks ago are going to give you a second look. The question is now is, what are you going to do to ensure that you choose you? PartnersOne has been a tool that gives local small businesses a leg up over their competitors. When I go looking for an attorney because my elderly parents need an estate plan, I can go to Google and type Baton Rouge attorney, or I can call 291-5052 and say, Aimee, my mama needs an estate plan. Who should I call? And what I'm going to get is a recommendation for someone who's not only an attorney in Louisiana, but specializes in estate planning, and someone who has a track record proven to not only be someone who quickly returns calls, someone who charges fair rates, and someone who understands the sensitivity of estate planning with their clients. PartnersOne offers you that not in one area, not in just for restaurants or attorneys, but in every walk of life. We want our Moxie is, you're going to hear that term thrown around throughout the course of the conversation in our title. Moxie is our sister company that is opening these exchanges in cities across the country. It is the name of our currency. You spend cash dollars every day. Moxie is just the name of a dollar that you spend with Partners members. It's nothing new or different or scary. All we have is a currency that we spend with each other. It incentivizes me as a business owner to use the people who use me. What a common occurrence. It's been such a joy for me over the past month to watch local businesses encourage consumers to use their competitors and their neighbors and their friends. I've sat back and watched and thought, how ironic that everyone in the Baton Rouge business community is writing emails and social media posts that I can use for PartnersOne for years to come, because they're promoting the very thing we do. In a bit of irony, you know, we don't have to go out and tell people what we do. It's what they've been preached for the past 4 weeks. And that's put your dollars into the local community, do business with people that do business with you, and do it in an organized manner. I'm not going to take a whole lot more time, and I want Aimee to tell you some real specifics about some great projects that we have going on that were birthed out of PartnersOne. I want to tell you 2 little cautionary tales, is to say, Barter is in the national news right now. There have been, Bloomberg has written articles and other articles. There are inevitably going to be people that want to open barter exchanges in all new markets. And there are going to be people that come in that are going to try to attract you to barter. The benefit of barter is undeniable, but the dangers of barter also exist. A barter exchange should be a group of people that help organize and account for your trades, but they should also be people that are screening members so that you're getting quality participants, because the last thing you want to do is have new customers come into your company and take your product or service, only to find that when you go back to use them, that their services are limited, are unavailable, or aren't at the same quality of the services that you're providing to the network. A barter exchange that's been around and has been servicing clients for decades has a volume of history, so that when someone applies to us, we have a means to screen them through all of our current members, as well as look at their industry and know if we have the right person filling that space. We're going to take questions at the end of this, so I know I've said a lot of information. Stick around, ask questions. Aimee, if you'd take the floor. Aimee started a project last week on Facebook. I'm going to let her tell you all about it, but it's just the power of connection between people, which is the heart of what we do. I don't want that to get lost, is we're not a business opportunity for you. We're a people opportunity for you. We want to piggyback on what the last 4 weeks have caused in your life, and that's attentiveness to relationships with local business people. And I think that what Aimee's doing right now is just a great example, a microcosm of what's to come for your business in the next 6 months.
Thanks, Pete. I'm going to talk about that project in just a second. I just want to take the high level that Pete addressed about what we do as a business community or community of business owners, and kind of bring it down to a more practical level of how it works. Businesses and individuals have, like Pete said, have bartered forever. Barter is great, but sometimes it's clunky, meaning that in order for barter to work, the business owners need to know each other. They need to have what the other one wants, and the money needs to work out. So I always use this example that, let's just say that you're a dentist and I own a hot dog restaurant, and my kid needs braces and I don't have the cash to go give my child braces. But I know the business owner, I come to you and I say, hey, listen, was wondering if you'd like to barter with me. Well, barter would work if, for example, the money would work out, but you're a dentist, my kid's braces is going to be $5,000 and I'm a hot dog stand. And the way that interaction would work typically in barter is that you promise that you would do a direct barter with that person. And me being the hot dog stand, I'd give $5,000 worth of hot dog gift certificates to the dentist. And so it doesn't really work out. I really, really like hot dogs, for example. It would work maybe if I had something that the dentist wanted or needed, like if I was a website design company or a sign company. But barter, that's where barter gets clunky. It's just not always perfect. So what we do is we bridge the gap where those relationships where one or all of those things are missing. In our model, you don't need to know another business owner who is willing to take barter as a form of currency. Everybody in our community is open for it. They're well versed in it, and they like it and they want it. We have an app that you can use when you need anything. Pete says that, instead of going to Google for a plumber, you go into our app and it will list all the plumbers that are willing to accept barter. Our currency is our barter currency called Moxie, and they're willing to take your business and have you pay, they're willing to take your payment through Moxie versus cash. So you're saving cash, you're getting a new customer. And back to the doctor and the hot dog owner, the hot dog stand owner, is now I've gotten business through PartnersOne and Moxie, because PartnersOne and Moxie has done all this promotion to send lots of people to my hot dog stand. And I now have 5,000 Moxie dollars in my account. And now I can spend it anywhere I want. So now I can go and I can spend it with that dentist to get something that I need, like braces for my child. Now that dentist doesn't have to spend that $5,000 right back with me, like the way that normal barter would work, is now they can spend it for all the things that they need. So in a time like this, right now when everybody's closed, a lot of our members are thinking, how can I improve my business right now? How can I upgrade the inside of my office? How can I upgrade my website, some of my marketing things? And they're using Moxie dollars instead of cash, because right now cash is tight. But as all business owners know, cash is kind of always tight. We always want to keep it. We always want to hold on to it. So Moxie is another way for you to save your cash and get good get good quality, high value customers. And I say high value because they're business owners just like you. It's not like we're a discount company or anything. It's not like we're Groupon or a company that is making you do some sort of discounts in order to get the business. You charge your normal fair market rates for what you would normally charge a normal customer. And the only difference is you're taking the business and accepting Moxie as payment for doing that. And then in turn, when you go and you get your website designed, or you get your lawn cut, or you take your dog to the veterinarian, you're not having to spend cash because you're paying Moxie dollars instead. So that's where we kind of circle back to around our two primary focuses in what we do is we bring good quality business owners to you, brand new customers, keep those relationships. You know, Pete was saying earlier that about every 6 months, if every 6 weeks, if a person doesn't come back to your restaurant, you might lose them. Well, Moxie is also another way to keep those relationships with your customers much more solid, because business owners, because they want to save cash, are always wanting to see where they can spend their Moxie first. And so that's like another benefit of what we do with PartnersOne in our Moxie communities, is that we help keep those relationships and people coming back to you because you accept Moxie as a form of payment. And then we increase your cash flow because you're not spending cash for the things that you need. You can save that for other things, and you can spend your Mox instead. It's kind of like an idea of practice. Pizza. I want to check to anybody that has any questions for us before I move on to one of the projects that we've started since we've all been in quarantine.
This is Lauren. I have a question. So say my website firm decides to build a website for a PartnersOne participant. How is that determined as far as how much Moxie dollars that's worth?
I'll send that over to Pete to answer.
I'm sorry. I'm getting an intermittent signal, Lauren. Can you repeat the beginning of your question?
Oh, sure. So say I own a graphic design firm or a website firm, and I decide to build a website in exchange for Moxie dollars for a PartnersOne partner. How do I redeem? How much is that worth? How do I redeem?
Sure. Cool. I just want to make sure I got it correct. I'm the least tech savvy person on this call, so trying to make this thing work. Lauren, it works just, the great thing is nothing changes. Moxie dollars are just, they're money. They're just like cash dollars. Your pricing doesn't change. Your product doesn't change. Your delivery schedule doesn't change. You're going to sell the same product for the same prices, with the expectation that you'll buy products and services for the exact same prices you would buy them otherwise. Moxie is just a different type of money. You take Visa, credit card, cash, or your current accepted forms of payment. Moxie is just another payment form that you add to your portfolio. The benefit of it is not that it's not cash, or that it's not punitive that you're not taking cash, because it spends just like cash. So you're going to use it when you buy your website and you say, you know what, I need to sell a website. If your price was $2,000 for the website, that's your Moxie price. And then you're going to get $2,000. And then when you go eat at Mansour's for dinners next week, and you're entertaining 3 clients who possibly want you to take on a $20,000 project, and you want to do a nice dinner, and you take them out to dinner, they're going to bring you a tab. You're going to hand them a card that looks just like your Barter, your credit card, or your debit card. It's going to be your PartnersOne Moxie card, and they're going to charge your account just like they would for cash. So pricing doesn't change, process doesn't change, just the card that you pull out of your wallet changes.
Thank you.
Now,
Sure.
A question that some people have right after we say something like that is like, well, then why on earth would I, I've got cash.
Hello.
Right.
Hey. Hello.
Hey there,
Hello.
Rick.
Hi, sorry,
Yeah.
Rick. Did you have a question?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a call come in and I thought it muted me on the meeting. So I was looking at the phone. So Pete, I take notice to your comment. I might be the least tech savvy person on the call.
We're all
I'll
learning.
give you that title.
Sorry.
kind of backtrack a little bit. The next question that some people have after say that is like, well, then, you know what, if it's just another form of payment, then why would I take Moxie instead of cash? And so the reason why is that if you are getting enough business, if you're, you know, your restaurant's totally full, you don't have one table that's open. If you're like a auto repair place and you've got a bay that's open, or and they're always full, and your team's always full, and you're getting enough business, we're not a great fit for you. We're an awesome fit if you could use more business. So in regards to like whether you take cash, why would you take cash versus Moxie, is that Moxie, people are coming to you, they're driving past your customers to come to you because you take Moxie as a form of payment. Behind Moxie, we're not just a credit card processing company. We're actually not a credit card processing company, but we're not a payment company. There's a lot more behind the scenes that we do to help make sure that you guys get business. We have an entire team of people that are constantly promoting you on social media. We have special events that we host throughout the year, sometimes at local business owners' place to attract business to them, not just cash business, but I mean, not just Moxie business, but having special events also can attract cash business. So we're actively always looking for business for you. So that's where we're different than a regular credit card or a payment type of medium like a MasterCard or a Visa, is that we're actually out there doing work to try to get you business. We're another form of advertising for you. I like to tell people when they ask me what I do for a living is that I'm a matchmaker for businesses. Like all I do all day long is I'm networking, I'm going out, I'm meeting businesses, I'm talking to business owners that are my clients, finding out what they need and what they want, and then I'm matchmaking them with other businesses that are my clients. So they're constantly getting more business because the interactions that our team at Moxie gives them. And that's what we're probably, if I'm going to speak for all of us at Moxie, that's the thing that we're the most passionate about, is connecting, is the collaboration of our business owner community. And to kind of segue into the next part of this, when all this stuff started happening with, cities closing down and businesses closing over on the West Coast, we started to talk about this in the office, that, it was probably coming over here because it's moving across the country. And when it started to indeed happen here in Louisiana, we're all talking as a team, like, what can we do? Because we're going to be shutting down too. If our clients who are small business owners are closing their doors because of the stay-at-home order, our ability to be able to kind of to be matchmakers for businesses is also going to be stunted as well. And so Pete said to our team, it's like, during this time, let's just reach out and see how we can be of service to our clients, to our small business owners. And so one of the things that we did just on a lark to see if this would be a potential benefit for our business owners is, before we went into the stay-at-home order, we started a business community page of business owners. It's a private community page called Business Owners Standing Together. And it's a dialogue page for business owners to have a private conversation about what they're going through, how they can save their businesses, take care of their customers, or attract new customers in a more private setting, so they could have more candid conversations with one another. And it really took off here in Baton Rouge. And so we opened it up and did these types of business groups all throughout all the communities that Moxie services. And I did a couple of other ones where I had friends who had communities. And so I did one up in Nashville, and a friend of mine posted 2 weeks ago about this project some photographer was doing up in Boston, called the Front Steps Project. And I thought, oh gosh, you know what, that sounds super cool. We should do something like this down here, and maybe, do a pay it forward type thing to help small businesses. So I contacted Jen Oken of Jen Oken Photography, who's also a PartnersOne client of ours, and called her up 2 weeks ago, and I said, hey, listen, you should do this. She said, great, I'm on it. I'm going to go reach out to a couple of people that I know. Can you start promoting and setting some things up? So she did what she did best. I do what I did best. And we started, creating Facebook pages and ads and things like that to go out. And by Saturday night, we had 67 inquiries of families who were interested in Jen going to their houses and taking front porch portraits, keeping in mind all the social distancing standards, with the intention of lifting up our community's spirits during this time, and at the same time paying it forward, asking all of our families to give back to the community by purchasing gift cards or reaching out to local businesses whose doors are closed, and sponsoring them during this time. And so it took off like crazy. By like Wednesday, we had 1,000 inquiries to Jen. We brought in a bunch of different photographers, and now 2 weeks later, we're in six different cities. We've trained 25 different photographers to do our model of taking as many photos as they can, so we can create as much opportunity to help our community and give them something to look forward to, a reason to get out of their pajamas and put on some Sunday clothes and, you know, just get out of their rut to lift their spirits, but then ultimately give back to the business community. And most of our families are donating anywhere from, or buying gift cards of anywhere from $25 to $100, sometimes that they're doing to, you know, more than that. And now what we're doing on our Facebook page, which is the Front Porch Project BR in Baton Rouge. For those of you, if you're watching this in different cities, we're in Nevada, we're also in Nashville, we're in Michigan too, we're also in Mississippi. You can go to our Front Porch Project United Facebook group, or sorry, Facebook page, to kind of get a sense of like what we're doing in all of these cities. But we're connecting them with business owners. And then what's happening now is that I've got a team of photographers in particular here in Baton Rouge, and we're taking those photographers that are more journalistic style photographers, and we're going and we're capturing pictures of the businesses that our families were supporting and taking pictures of them. So when we're on the other side of this, now we have faces to the name of the businesses, and our communities and our business owners are connected during a time of disconnect at the moment. We're currently looking for ways that we can partner with local groups that are interested in business development on the other side of this, and on the other side of like how we're going to take care of our local economies once this is over. The outpouring of generosity has been incredible. I have to thank Lauren for actually giving us our logo and making us official with Stun. They did a great job on our logo that's now being used for the Front Porch Project, and then also for the Storefront Project, which is the business side of it. Modify right now is working on a website for us. We've just had so many people that have just been really super generous, and connecting the business and the stories that we've had from the consumer side with the Front Porch Project and their support and in supporting local business. It's just been overwhelming. And then there's also the well-being side that's just been really incredible, because we've got these amazing stories of people getting connected and being together and seeing, since they can't be connected face to face, they're just getting connected through the Front Porch Project. And at the core, that's really who PartnersOne and Moxie is we're here to be of service, to create community within our community and connecting business owners together, and ultimately connecting our community through these types of collaborations. So if you are a leader in the community and you are leading some sort of initiative, some sort of economic initiative for what's going to happen with small businesses on the other side of our quarantine time, I would love, and myself and Pete would love to talk to you more specifically here in Baton Rouge on how we can be a part of that. In addition, we've got communities through 16 different cities and throughout the South. So we're in New Orleans, we're in Lake Charles, Lafayette, Shreveport, Monroe, North Shore. We're also all the way up in Memphis, Tennessee. We're in Birmingham, Alabama. We've got a far reach where we're doing this project, and we're interested in working with local community leaders to be a part of what we can do to help small businesses on the other side of this. So I know I can talk a donkey's ear off. I apologize. Anyway, so I'll take another pause. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions?
Hey, Lauren, I would just like to say as a kind of a, before we end things, because I hope that this gets played in videos for people and they see this message. And I would just hope that people that this time of change and of challenge wouldn't leave you with a longing for more of the same. I hope that it births in people a desire for better and for different and for more and for risk-taking and for looking for new and exciting ways to expand both the success of their business and the quality of their life. PartnersOne can't make you a bunch of promises, but I can tell you that we can bring you new customers, and in turn, that's going to increase the quality of your life. So Lauren will have our contact information. If you have questions, or you can just Google PartnersOne or Moxie, and all roads lead to us if you Google either one of those words, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks again to the DBA, to the Downtown Business Association for reaching out. What a valuable asset to Baton Rouge. We hope that your membership continues to grow and thrive, and if we can be of any service to you guys, Lauren, we really want to be.
Thank you. Okay, well, thank you so much. I think that that was very topical and a lot to chew on, and I look forward to sharing this with all of our members. And I just want to remind everyone that the Downtown Business Association is here, obviously, for downtown businesses, but really all of Baton Rouge. Downtown is the beating heart of our capital city. So we have membership options for businesses, small and large, that are located downtown, mid-city, and beyond. So we really hope you get involved. We're doing everything we can right now to try to offer any type of resources available to our businesses to adjust and as Pete was saying, not necessarily go back to the way things are, but learn from this and grow from it. So we're looking forward to next week's webinar with Julie Lapouros with Emergent Method. And I will send out Pete and Aimee's contact information in case anyone is interested in following up with them for any more information. And as always, the Downtown Business Association is eager to hear from you. So if you have any suggestions or want to connect about any type of programs or anything that you have in mind, please feel free to reach out to me. My email address is lauren@downtownbr.org. All right, well, thank you all so much.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thanks, Lauren.
Congratulations on your
Thank you.
webinar series. Thanks for letting us be a part of it.
Thank you so much.
Take care.